Technical Seed Agronomist Robert Coster here with our product highlight video series. Today we're going to talk about Cropland 5550 VT2 Pro. Now you'll see this hybrid across multiple locations in this video. First location up is Leeton, Alabama. Leeton, Alabama is a dry land site. We've also had considerable disease pressure. You look up through the canopy, you can see that disease pressure, but this front side did not have a fungicide, so we're still holding in some plant health here, even though we had a lot of gray leaf spots, some southern rust. We have maybe a little even southern corn leaf blight in here, but a lot of heavy disease pressure. But I come down to the stalks. I did a moisture test and this grain's at 21.5%. But you notice the stalk size, stalk color, we're still holding in there in stalk quality. So this hybrid's gonna be able to stand out here for another 2 or 3 weeks until grain dries down that 15 to 16% if that's where the grower wants it. Now, as we move through here, now our research crew did come in and spray a fungicide on this second block. You can see we really added a little more plant health up through the canopy here with that fungicide. And you can see overall we added a little kernel weight and kernel size. Here's the kernel depth on this hybrid. It's going to have outstanding grain quality. The parental lines, especially the male, brings outstanding grain quality to this hybrid. This hybrid does not have a lot of flex to it. You're not going to get a bunch of 18 rounds on this. It's going to be very consistent on 16s, but it can handle the stress. And so this is Cropland 5550 in Leeton, Alabama. And we'll move to our next location to see it there. Next up on our Cropland 5550 highlight tour is Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Now we're on August the 23rd. We're just in front of black layer, so this corn is around 35 to 38% moisture. Carry between the silver and gold here. We're noticing very good natural senescence from the crop from the bottom to the top. Our ear leaves are still holding on, very green, very little disease. Had a little bit of gray leaf spots, some other things move in here, but 5550 is holding on very well. Really like this hybrid as a late planted hybrid option. Very, very high test weight. This is going to be a moderate to moderate high response to population. You're going to need to push the pops on it. You see here on a high population, on this side, you kind of see the stalks holding in very well. Great grain quality, consistent ear, 16 round, outstanding grain quality, outstanding plant health, good ear placement. We still have some green left in our stalks here, so we're going to hold those stalks on to the end of the season and not have any issues here. So 5550, Cropland 5550 Double Pro is a great option. Like I said, we're seeing very consistent results out of this hybrid across the board. So this is Hopkinsville, Kentucky, dry land site. Cropland 5550. Next location for Cropland 5550 VT2 Pro is Lexington, Tennessee. Lexington, Tennessee is a dry land site. It's had a considerable stress on it, especially late season from a nitrogen standpoint. But one thing I like about 5550, it is consistent. You look down the row, consistent ear placement, consistent plant height, consistent just overall plant architecture and structure. 5550 is very consistent. Now remember, Cropland 5550 is moderate for response to fungicide, population, and nitrogen. So there's some of that consistency even there. This is what you typically get out of Cropland 5550. Good size kernel depth. It's going to be consistently, again, 16 round. Not going to have a bunch of 18, 20s round, no matter what you do on population, but you're going to get 16s. And so it's that moderate response to population. The grain quality is going to be outstanding. The parental background is just very good grain quality, and you can see that reflected in the ears here. Outstanding grain quality. We're going to have some good test weight. 5550 has a fit as a companion for Cropland 5678 and some of our areas Cropland 5340 and 5497. So great companion product. But very good product, solid product, especially as you go north into the Mid-South, upper Mid-South, and get up closer to Kentucky line, Ohio River. This product's going to continue to get better and better. So Cropland 5550 in Lexington, Tennessee, dry land site, very consistent product. Our last location on our product highlight video series is Selmer, Tennessee. Now, Selmer, Tennessee is a river bottom soil. So it's typically May when we get to plant that location, this location, and of course that was the case this year. Now that does offer us opportunities to see these hybrids under some heavy disease pressure, particularly southern rust. It always moves in an environment late, and some late planted situations. So we're going to look at cropland 5550 now. Everything left of the sign is a silver, everything right is what we call gold. Some different things early season, but really what I want to focus on, we got 2 rows of 34, 2 rows of 28,000. Southern rust moved in this location late. R3 time frames when it moved in, R2-ish, we start to see it. And this is what you get from response. Southern rust 5550 stalks are really, really good. I mean, it's going to hold in there similar to what we see out of 5335, maybe even a tick better. So southern rust, but this plant maybe died. You can kind of see some anthracnose and other things as you move up the plant, secondary infections, but that's not the real cause here. The real cause is southern rust, as you can tell on that leaf. But the stalks held in there, and we're still seeing a little green. Now, as we move over to 34,000, you can still see that stalk integrity is still there. At 34,000, some of these stalks are getting a little bit spongy, but man, it's tough. There's some really nice looking stalks there. Still a little green in the plant. As we move up plant, no fungicide, heavy southern rust. If you watch the other video series, some other hybrids, you can tell what it did to decimate some of these hybrids. But 5550 is holding it really good. What does this fungicide do? So 28,000, 34,000 with the fungicide. Just added plant health back to this plant, right? Kept that plant alive a little longer at the top, ear leaves. But the stalks look really good. I mean, these stalks are not going to break. These stalks are going to stand out here another couple months, easy, and wait on a combine, because that's the plant health we have left in that plant. Now, as we look at what our ears do on 5550, we got 28,000 no fungicide, 28,000 with fungicide. You know, we do have a little ear flex. We go to 28 to 34, we get a little ear flex, but this hybrid's going to be consistent. It's going to be 16 round every time. Really not going to move very much. Now, as I look at what it does to the ear size, look at kernel depth, fungicide versus no fungicide. Not your big noticeable difference, see some other hybrids, but we did add kernel weight to that ear. We look at 34,000, again, top being fungicide, bottom being no fungicide, and we did add some kernel weight there. So it is going to be a yield response there, but not the drastic that we see out of some other hybrids. As you can tell, a little late summer shower, we're getting wet here, but that's the cropland 5550 from Selmer, Tennessee.